somebody to see it, they need the link. So we'll just test it. We just put it out there and it's private, so nobody can see it except for you'll be able to see it. Otherwise, we have such a limited capacity to upload a video that we would do on something that it won't work until we get a beta. We do. Oh, now it's talking to me. Hold on a minute. I gotta find. So we'll just test it. We just put it out there. It's live. Make sure it's private. Yes, it is. It's private, so nobody can see it but us. Okay, very good. Coming back around. I'm learning to negotiate this whole. Now I got to get back to where you are so I can see you. So I can see your video. Okay, I'm here. We got it all worked out, so you'll be able to see this later. We'll both be able to look at it. It's been so helpful here. They tried to review the other one. So thank you, Jesus, for bringing us together in this holy joining.
Thank you.
What is he saying we need to see?
Well, yeah, the desire to abuse myself, and not with physical, although you could use, no, focus on the thoughts. I was going to say, no, don't say it. Okay. God, I want to say it. Okay. Just, abusing myself with the thoughts, and therefore being in hatred so much and having extreme pains in my head, like the lid put on, not accepting the miracles and being in, pain, but mental pain, like the thoughts.
Okay. And so what is he saying the antidote is?
Well, today, it started yesterday, and then today again, I really wanted to go straight to self-neglecting or self-abuse, just the words. It's not that I'm physically doing anything to myself, but, And then I said, is this where I ask a forgiveness on? And he said, no, you have to start with I am unlovable.
Yeah, his directions are getting so direct. I'm starting, okay, and then what does he say to do with it next?
The word the desire to convince myself constantly that I'm unlovable. Coming up now.
Okay, and what is he saying to do with that? How to handle it?
There's something about admitting is not the right word yet, he says, but I'm going to use it right now because I'm not getting it fully. There's something about admitting the scaring myself.
So wanting wanting that experience, seeing that it is a choice for a miscreation. see, it feels like he's really trying to point us to see how this miscreation is a choice, the wanting of the miscreation, the wanting of the experience, so he can be so clear that it can only appear with our desire for it.
Okay, he's saying right now, you're still believing that denying is safer than, denying that I have something to do with this part is safer than is safer than admitting it. Yeah.
That's great seeing.
That's like the denial over the denial.
That's like so in the pocket. Yeah, we need his help, really. Such a great reminder. We need his help to show us exactly, pinpoint exactly what is happening or not happening, what we're believing.
Yeah, he's saying it straight now. You are denying me all the time. Yeah.
And what's he saying? What's his instructions then?
Yeah. All I'm hearing right now is the belief to listen to him. There's still such he says you really, really are convinced that listening to me is devastation. And of course it's the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a very gentle way of saying I understand that, but, and this is a good but. This is a good but. Something like I can't hold you there. I don't know.
So let's still delve deeper. Oh, infinite love coming up on this one. Oh, so much love, like so much love, to look directly at the whole kind of schema that we create below our level of awareness to make Jesus's voice the enemy. In order to continue the play of consciousness, we have to make his voice, the voice for God, we have to, go like this, no. And, I was listening, really listening to him, and he was talking about, you really want the desire to say no to yourself. It's the choice to say no to ourselves. Like, no, I'm not being divine being, right? We're saying no to the true voice. So ask them what desires we can see below our level of awareness that kind of are this miscreation, the construction, that where we're placing greater value. We're not placing value on our own voice, the voice for God.
Okay, first he asked me to give all this uncomfortableness that was just coming up as you were talking, to give it over to him. So I just asked for a miracle. He really is pointing at below the desire of wanting to feel unlovable, pure. He says, no, not to hatred, to like abuse, like the worst thing, like abuse, like really abuse. And what else? Yeah, he says that's true. I was admitting it earlier today when I was sitting with him, and like, but it was more like I must desire to really abuse myself a lot. Abuse, and there's another word. Um, I can't hear it, but let's just keep it at abuse right now. I must really, really love to abuse myself right now. He says, no, that's not how you say it. Okay. How do I say it then? He says, keep it to desires, not what you love. Okay. Desire. I must have a real, I'm so focused on the desire to like abuse myself.
So the desire to experience be self-abuse.
Yeah. In words, in
Yeah.
projections.
Using words. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's ask him to help us through it. Step by step. How do we're willing to see it another way. I feel like we're really willing, Jesus. Ask him. I hear yes.
Yes, I hear yes too. Yes.
Okay, and ask for a miracle, but we need his help, admitting that we need his help the quickly. See, he's going to help us quickly through this.
Okay, he says, take the picture of really wanting it. And sit with it, with me. Do nothing, nothing. It's almost like look at it and let it melt.
Yes. That's the experience here as well.
Okay, it's almost like a bag is opening up and all the thoughts are like sprinkling out of it, like, I hate you, I don't want you, no. And he just keeps saying, just watch them, just watch them. No, I hate you, I don't want you. Fuck you. Push away. But also like rape, like murder, like the whole fucking bag is just opening up with all the desires. Yeah, the main one is I don't trust you. And it has to be difficult. I don't trust you, and it has to be difficult because from difficult comes pain, unfairly treated. Da, 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 da. But don't go there, okay? I really, really have the desire to not trust him. Ooh, getting dizzy. Yeah.
Yeah. He says that's available to a miracle.
Every time I like slide off to almost wanting to fight with him again, he's like, don't go there. What's so funny?
It's the light training. He just knows everything, and all you do is listen to him. It's such a beautiful demonstration. It's beautiful. It's such a demonstration. He knows what we need and how to get us through this delusion.
I'm asking, like, is there something else, or can you tell me something? But it's totally quiet. Yeah, I am. I know you said you can ask for a miracle, but for me, it feels like I'm not ready, to be honest, because I'd love a
Yes,
miracle, but I don't feel ready.
I think that's why. See, he just offers it. And he's also saying that sometimes, as I've said, ask Holy Spirit decide for me. See, he knows we need to ask for a miracle to ask for a miracle. A miracle, a change in perspective that we're actually the desired experience, that we're not ready for a miracle.
The desired experience that we're not ready for a miracle. Yeah. Yeah, I keep hearing the word control. So I'll ask him, do we look at control? Yes. Okay. What about control? Controlling the miracle. Okay, thank you. Something. Do I ask a miracle for this? To control the desire to control the miracle. Yes. Okay. Stay with me. Stand as the light. Look at it. Okay, it's funny now. Yeah. Thank you. That was a miracle. Can you hear me? Because I'm talking kind of soft.
No, sounds great. I'm picking it up. We'll see how well the computer does. It
Is there
sounds great.
something?
It sounds very clear.
Okay. Oh, he says, this is what we practice. This is what we practice. Okay. Is there something else I have to look at? Yes. What would you want me to look at? Underneath the controlling the miracle. Okay. Is there a desire there? Yes. Okay. To be in pain. Okay. Yes. The desire to be in pain. Difficult pain. Okay. Can I ask a miracle for that? Yes. But I'm getting back. But do you want one?
He knows where the bones are buried, boy. Let me tell you. He knows when we're trying to squeak by without really looking at a desire.
Yeah,
See.
yeah, he's showing me again, you desire difficulty.
Mm.
And I'm willing to admit that because I am seeing that so clearly. The abuse, I mean, I cannot abuse myself more with thoughts than I have been seeing lately.
Yeah, it's such a good demonstration that we need him to guide us. I mean, we need to be like I said, the babies on the tricycle, just following him for each step through this, because he knows where every bone is buried. So where are the bones on this that he's pointing to?
He's saying impatience. You have to look at the desire to be impatient because no, because just look at the desire to be really impatient. Because that's the same as rage. Okay, I never saw it like that. Can I ask for a miracle for that? Yeah. Okay. Stand with him. I look at it. Impatient timeline. Yes. Impatient is the same as the doer. Yes. Can I ask for a miracle for the impatient and the doer? The desire for that? Yes. Easy. Okay. Okay, is there something below this that I have to look at? Yes. Unfairly treated, but I'm not hearing him again. This is what happens all the time. I check out.
Yeah, this is just the mind, the mind wandering that he tells us about, right? We just, and I said, where we suddenly want a pizza or an ice cream cone, or because he's getting to something that's really important for, we want to fall asleep, or, or because we have the power to miscreate all kinds of things, including that we lose track of that voice, our own voice. See, it's a desire to lose track of our own voice. How about that? That's deep.
Yeah, I'm hearing right now, you just call it the no. Simple.
It's the no. Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Okay. You say, oh, okay. Oh, I love that this is brought up. The desire to not join with my brother, like not, no fucking way. And I'm fine to join with you, but I want to really make my own decisions on who I join with or not. Okay. holding back on expressing yourself, he says. There's a desire to experience to be attacked. That's why you don't express yourself. And now you're immediately a victim. Okay, that's true. But just ask a miracle for that, okay? Simple. Ah, that's nice. You know, I gotta say this. You know how I feel as I'm doing this? It's just, I know it's just a reflection, but I know it goes quite easy, yet I have a constant idea. I'll definitely call it an idea. Like, what am I doing? This isn't working. And I know they're doubt thoughts, but to trust this process, I feel like I'm so at the tiniest beginning of trusting this process.
Mm-hmm.
It is so anything like anything. I could have a conversation with Jesus like for a long time, and all of the time I keep asking Jesus, am I talking to you? Because it's such a normal conversation
Yes.
the whole
That's
time.
that's what he's saying. That's what's given now. It's completely given. This is always available. It's completely given to have the same kind of conversation that Helen had with him, to everyone. There's no restrictions on it.
But the conversations are so normal.
Yes.
It's like I can ask him anything. I get like straight answers that you could call come straight from the Course in Miracles. And then I think, oh my gosh, you know, I know how I am. I can memorize things really well. Am I just babbling from the ego with the knowing the Course instead of knowing the Course and listening? Constant doubting, like, is this Jesus? You know, is it Jesus?
See, I just got to the point where I started, is this you? And I could hear him. There's an authority that comes in with it. That's how come we're getting the discernment. There's kind of not a control, it's just an authority. It carries the authority of God when that voice comes in. So we're like little children, and then that voice becomes the authority that we follow, our own inner voice. We have to be that way.
Okay.
And I ask him, I just go, is this you? Is this the light? You know, I can hear him now. Yes.
Yeah, I ask as I talk, I ask a lot. Is this you?
Yes.
Yes. Is this you? Yes.
Yes.
Is this
We're
you?
so used to trying to boot that voice. We need that reassurance. But it's just a conversation. We can see how normal it is. It's just because he's going to speak to us in the way we can. Like you said in the earlier exchange, he's going to speak directly to us the way we can understand his voice. So it's just a normal conversation. It's not any different, except the difference is that with the willingness, we can actually hear what he's saying and go, right, you're right. You see, we go into willingness to really hear him point out everything. Before we were too arrogant. I was too arrogant. I mean, I could hear him sometimes, but once it becomes, oh yes, he is the way out. This symbol in my mind, it's myself. But it helps with the discerning which voice, because we have so many freaking voices in there yelling and screaming and want to say no and be control and not enough and da 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 da, you know. But it's no mamby-pamby voice, this one. You know, it's not mamby-pamby, it's just direct, and here's the gig, you know, here's the deal. That's the way I experience it. Yep.
Okay. And then, okay, to like practical, I have to like make I have to leave tomorrow at a certain time, but there are a couple of people involved. And one is very clear that we have to leave at 11 o'clock. The next one says I have to drop something off at the post office, so we cannot leave until after 12. And I feel like the mediator, like, what do I do? What do I do? I mean,
So just do what Jesus tells you to do. What's he saying? Or even, are you even to do it? You know, he might say, take a boat or a bus, you know, it's just, what's the guidance?
well, right now he's telling me to suggest at 11 o'clock to the other lady and see if that the post office is really something that has to be done. That's what I heard right away. But I feel like I can't do it right, you know? But that must be
So
the personality again coming in.
that's a deep desire for the experience to not to feel like we're doing things right. That's, oh, I found mine. The paralysis thing, you know, I was talking
Yeah.
to
That's the
Teresa
abuse
about it.
again.
She could see that coming in too. She's, sometimes I just don't want to do anything. I felt that too. I understand. It's just a way, we're actually just blocking hearing him. Because it's not about the doing. He says being, we're being in a constant state of being. However the body moves, he's trying to uncouple who we are from what we do. That's all the prompt does, is uncouple what we do from who we are. What seems, the body seems to move and be functioning, that happiness is in doing, see, or unhappiness is in doing. It's all those ideas. It's the desire
Yeah.
to play as a body.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what you're giving me is just keep checking in.
You can see how quickly this will go if we just listen to him, spend time listening, okay, and how much light it is, and we don't have to go in the mind. And that, you know, the way the mind plays is, it's gonna, let's just say the example is, okay, tomorrow I leave it, you know, the mind's, we hide under, oh, who's going to be upset with us and their consequences, and what, how can I do the right thing? I could see that was a pattern that ran. Am I doing the right thing? See, the ego, and the ego makes the wrong thing, and then we ask it, and it's not wrong, nothing's wrong or right, but what I'm saying, it's making the scenarios so that we will feel that we can be wrong.
Well, that is very active still in me. I mean, yeah, I'm just admitting it that right now. Thinking,
You know,
like, consequences that cause an effect, and that the effect was real, and now exactly what you were just describing. Yeah, I don't know
yeah,
what you
so
were just. Yeah.
yeah, now we can see, we can just go directly to him. Okay, I have this desire. Okay, can you help me through it? That's it, you know, and he'll go the fastest way, show you how to use the miracles, and it's so profound, you know. And then we just get to the point where we just start asking, okay, Jesus, go ahead, start delivering out those miscreations. Because we trust him so much. Do I need to look deeper? Are there any other miscreations here? It's like that. It's just that energy just comes out and burns in the light, because it was all suppressed before, and he just delivers it. It's like, oh yes, I feel it. Yes, I know what you're talking about. I really do want the Christmas creation, like, so badly. And then 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 he tells you, okay, is it time to ask? Yes, ask for a miracle. See, he's in total control. That's Christ's control. He's like totally in control until he can show us that our natural state is unconscious miracles. Miracles, not unconscious, but miracles that are not under conscious control, I would see. But he's really showing us right now how much we really, really, really want to control miracles. And he's making it so clear in this way, like by saying, nope, don't ask for the miracles. He knows there's still a part of us that is saying no to divine love there, and then he puts his finger on it. It's like, oh yes, shit, you're right. Right again, Father, but it's the fastest. And it builds that conversation and that trust. Like you say, he knows. We constructed a world so we wouldn't trust ourselves. And he's just merely the symbol of that we're saying no to ourselves. To find out where we're saying no. Between him and his brother, then it's a sandwich. We can't weasel out on ourselves anymore.
So the moment I sort of like notice the thoughts, like with another being, like, I really don't want to be with you, like, please leave, I see these thoughts come up. I run symbolically to Jesus and say, okay, sit down with me.
Yes.
So
He said that immediately. Your mouth just opened and he says that, for me, he's reminding me. This is the immediacy of the correction when we accept his help.
And you're actually also offering me to see that how I used to do it, like lots of story and deep and past, and that's not necessary anymore.
Ask him. No, not in any way. Is he asking you to do it to clear the deck? Has he asked you once to tell him a story about it?
No, that's my own desire.
It's a desired delay is what that is.
Yeah, I delay a lot still then. I delay a lot.
But that's okay. Now we can admit it,
Story about others.
But we know who to go to now.
Yeah, that's true.
You can hear, as I've said, listen to you and Therese. It's like, listen to the whole thing. It's just gorgeous. That's why this is such a valuable, we're going to play this here, because it's valuable for all of us to see and for you to see it again, because you can see how clear you are when you hear it, when we open the little gate, because he's going to tell you, let's ask. I mean, it's good to join because there is a lot of clarity, and he's saying to do that because we're so afraid of joining with him. It's symbolic, right?
You're frozen.
Let's see if it comes back.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. Yeah. So we're so used to saying no to ourselves. And we're so used to being afraid of Jesus that he'll put symbols out there. Well, symbols will come in form. Okay, I feel comfortable talking to you, or however this body seems to be. It's just reacclimating us to really talking to the truth of within ourselves, opening up the dialogue until we see that there is no words in the dialogue with the Christ mind. The Christ mind just is itself. And this is like the interim. So we can be so clear and get under that delusion, that desire for delusion. But you can see how quick it is, because he's going to tell you right away you can talk to him without joining. It's just guidance. See, we're just going for the guidance. Do I talk to you directly, or do you want me to join? What's most helpful? Because he's showing us that joining is extension. It's a way of expressing divinity, this joining. It's two minds perceive their oneness and become glad. That's why he's going join, 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 and to practice. The practicing of the listen, speak, listen, speak, listen, speak, so that it's just becomes so, see that our own voice, he's teaching us our own voice is natural to us. Listen, speak, here's what and then soon it just becomes the only thing that comes out of our mouth is Christ. Expression of divinity. And we're practicing with one another, seemingly like there is another, but he uses everything in consciousness to show us that there isn't another. And where he's moving us to is also joining with our brother on decision making. When I have a decision to make, join as a symbol of joining with him. Once you can really hear him, it's not, we're really in full willingness. And we don't make an inch square move. Like I said, when you get to the point where you're in, just going, do I go out this door or whatever? It's just a reminder that his availability for everything, there's no restrictions. And it's not an obsession. See, the ego can get obsession. He says that, I think, in chapter 30. But he's not pointing to that. He's just pointing to our minds are powerful enough to access that voice for God all day long, is what he's saying. The voice, just ask him. Does a voice for God speak to me throughout the day? And ask him.
Yeah.
There isn't a time he's not speaking to us. Is there a time? Ask him. Like he said, that time I was so hilarious. He said it to somebody else here too. It's hilarious. We just laughed our heads off when I was throwing up, and he says, don't, because when you have that relationship with him, see, he'll do stuff like that. So don't tell me you can't hear me, because you can't. And it cracked me up. Because he's really trying to help us see we're not in a Greek tragedy. We wanted an experience of Greek tragedy, but doesn't mean we're in a Greek tragedy.
No, but I'm hearing right now that I have to keep looking on how badly I want to push him away.
Yes.
When the headache comes in,
I feel
like
that. Yes.
headache.
Yes.
How badly I want to push him away, like badly. And that's why I experience I can't think of the word, what we started with. Hurting myself with thoughts. What are you trying to say? I can't think of the word, but that's okay. Yeah, he's reminding me again to remind myself, these are not my thoughts. Be strict with yourself. These are not my thoughts. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we may have a whole session coming up here. I have a feeling on all the resistance to hearing the voice for God. Renee started laughing. She's sitting right. That just feels really helpful, all the resistance to hearing the voice. And because we know we can. But again, that's why he's given joining. That's why the joining assignments are here. So we can just like we're doing now, exactly like this interaction. I can just hear so much love in it. He's saying exactly this, so you can practice and see where you don't want to hear me.
Yeah.
And you can admit it. It's just, you see, that's all so we admit it, and that just starts to melt that block, that denial of the denial. That's all he's doing. The admission is to admit the denial that we're denying. So that's a first step.
That's true. Today, I said, okay, Jesus, I admit I want to abuse myself, and I want it constantly. I admit, because, I'm getting so, like fed up, but that's not even the right word. It's also painful and also hateful and also, So I admit, like first I was like, I must love abusing myself. And then I sat and I just thought, okay, I I love abusing myself with these thoughts and being in pain and hating everyone and feeling lost, feeling abused, feeling lonely, feeling, all those thoughts. Left behind, all those. So I admit that.
It's so
And I have
beautiful. It's so helpful. Yeah, it's so beautiful. Because when we admit it, that's just the admission of how much we want it. As he said, we can go right to the miracle. When that full admission blooms. Otherwise, we're kind of, I'll take a miracle, but we don't really want it. He can't support us in fullness that way. That's why that's what full willingness is. But you start to see how little the willingness is needed. But it can't be because he's showing us how to take back. You could put it words like that, to cease to deny divine power. That our divine power, that we made it, thus we can dispel it. See, that's what he's, so that we see that we made it. So that, see, we had the abuse, it's a miscreation. And that we need him too. That's another thing. It sort of makes it, the experience here, and then I was starting to see, oh my gosh, this is a smorgasbord of hell in all directions without that voice. And it's like that God dependency takes over. You do, at least the experience here, I start feeling like a little child. Okay, I had to be like a little child and ask him, okay, is that true? And then laugh, when he shows me, then I could laugh and say, okay, he's right. It lightens up the desire for the experience of it being hard or painful. See, the pain is never talking to him. You see how easy it is just to have a conversation with him.
Well, yeah. And when I do follow, it like almost immediately gets so glorious. I've been experiencing that, but but there's such an idea of the fear of speaking up. That's a big one for me. Speaking up, like what I'm hearing, to say that.
Yes.
It's one thing to hear it, but then
Yes.
to also have the step of following and saying it, like, and
Yeah.
trust it.
So the assignments will come in that regard. Like they're coming through the light circles. I mean, they're coming through the joining. And for me, that's probably, he's going, yes, that's why the light circles came, so that I just, you know what I mean? It becomes one. And so I hear him, or the voice just, we're just moved by that power, the infinite power of God that we are. You see, so for here, it's the assignment of the light circles to speak it. But it'll come in different ways. We have an opportunity to listen and speak every time we interact with another being. So ask him how light that's going to be, when that's our only function, is just to listen and say his words. How is that going to change every interaction?
Yeah, it is. Well, I already know what it's like. I mean, I do. Sometimes it's all that I can speak and follow. And then if I just have that little bump of starting, then I go, and then
Yes.
until a seemingly situation comes up again when there's like a peak of doubt thoughts again. And then I'm like, okay, lost it, I think.
Yeah. So just remember, he's turning every thought like that around. I lost it. I have a desire for experience that I lost the voice.
Oh boy, I got a big desire for that. I can feel that right away. I can feel that really well. I can see it really well. Nope, sorry, lost you. I can see that really well.
And how we want it to be something outside of ourselves that is making us Boy, that channel's funny, Jesus. Boy, you, shh, you know. Shh.
Yeah, I got all this shame. Do you see me going on red? All this
You
shame
start
coming
smoke.
up.
The smoke right starts rising on
Yeah,
these
smoke
things.
is rising. I'm getting all hot. What's happening?
Ask them. It's clearing. That's how it clears sometimes. It feels like smoke rising. It feels like we're burning on fire.
He said you admitted it. And he says, and this is the easy way. Oh my gosh, it's so different from what I've ever thought of. All the things I had to do, all the emotions I had to jump in, cry for days.
Emotional expression won't do it. I'll tell you, without the willingness, you can express till kingdom come. It will not change.
Well, yeah, you're so true, but I'm still like in rehab from expressing.
I know. I see a lot of beings in rehab from expressing, but ask Jesus. It's gonna break the habit. It's the slow. He says everything works. It's the slow boat to China. It's the slow boat to China. Ask him.
But like today, and I know you're talking the truth. Let's say that, but the buts that are still there, that are still like hobbling around, like today, I got to this point to admitting all these things because I first looked at still blaming parents for not paying any attention to me and for abusing me in the sense of not paying any attention to me. And then now I could go to this part.
Well, ask him. Was that needed?
He says you think that was needed, and that's fine, but it wasn't.
It's just not the fastest way. He says any kind of looking is going to help, but see the difference that this is, there's so much crap that gets buried under those stories. And you can see when you go pinpoint with him, there's nothing that gets hidden. Because he's going to show us exactly where we really don't want that miracle. Even if we tell it and release it and all this stuff, he's going, no, you still, he comes in and he draws a circle around it. See that right there? There's nothing on this planet, I don't care how it appears anywhere, is going to be more important than talking with him directly. Not a single thing. In terms of speed. Ask him.
Yeah.
If we want speed.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's true. It's very true. And it's true. It's only, he's showing me like it's true because you're so at peace right now. And when I'm expressing, I'm not. But I got all these doubt thoughts coming up because I'm going to the retreat tomorrow. And but I've been really like praying on that. Sorry. And he says, but it's just to practice to talk to me throughout the day. It doesn't matter if you call it a retreat or if you call it grocery shopping, whatever you call, or party or sitting in silence. He's just like, it's only just a practice to talk to me throughout the day with whatever's coming up. Yeah. And the bones that are buried still there is that I have these stories of being afraid when, this is good to mention because then I can admit it when it comes up with lots of people, with crowds.
So here's the thing, okay?
Yes.
Because the ego is going to create the perception that there's a future event in which that can be cleared. Yeah. Okay? That can be cleared in the recognition right now with him. Like you don't have to go to anything to clear that.
I'm still believing that there's a there. I was
Yeah,
sitting with
so
that today too, and yesterday. But it's in the mind. Jesus keeps saying, no, in the mind. But I'm not seeing or understanding that. That's probably why
so
I am following this prompt, and that you don't think it's a prompt, because I've been really trying to listen to Jesus. What is this? Why am I hearing my brother having doubt thoughts about following this? And it really upset me at first, but I just, tried to listen to him. And it's because, what were you saying about it?
it's because you're making it a future event.
Yeah. And I'm still making a lot of things future, but I'm noticing it though.
Yeah, of course. It's okay. We're all doing it. It's on. They're not pointing the finger. It's for me. It's for me to hear him and to be so clear about what I'm hearing. Like, even if because it's for me, like, it's not for anyone else. It's like I asked him, Jesus, do I say this about, because I talked to him about this. Do I say this? And it's just because we're serving each other this way, then we can look, okay, are we upset with what someone else is saying? I don't know why what purpose is his? The purpose of what comes out of this mouth belongs to the Lord God in that moment. Do you see? To serve the whole through his voice coming through here. That's all we're doing. So it's right here, right now. And I can't say ultimately what's going to come next, whether a being goes to retreat or doesn't. It's only for me to hear what he has me to say and say it. Do you see? And that lets us live now without intention. There's like no tension, and without intention, there's no tension. And to see where I might deny his words coming through. But I ask him because it's only function. It's like, Jesus, do I say anything about it? And then I don't say anything unless he says, or someone asks me for help. Okay, I need help seeing this. And then like David would say that too. Now I understand it. It's just like Jesus. He's only going to help where he's asked. I can't, to be divine expression. It's just like Jesus. You start, okay, is this my function first with him? Is it my function to talk about this? Is my function to say this? And then it's just right now. I don't have to give another thought to what's happening tomorrow. I mean, it may arise, but I still know even if an idea of tomorrow which is falling away because I can't find one, I'm still always with him, and he's timeless. So I'm timeless. So what happens is consciousness will create events to sneak out and not look right now. See it, because then I can go do this. I saw it, and Jesus knows it's the play. But when we can look with him right now, that's all he's saying. So it's for me to look at the way consciousness creates event. Do you see? There's no one out there to look at it. It's not for anyone else. It's for me to see the ways in which I might create events, and the consciousness plays and creates events.
I'm hearing you, but I'm not getting it, and it's okay, because I still believe there's I mean, I've been really sitting with this, and like when I think tomorrow, it's just a thought. It's not tomorrow.
Well, Jesus gave you what's most helpful. He gave you what's most helpful, and I heard that immediately. With everything, ask. That's all.
With everything else, yeah.
As things arise in consciousness at that time, we're always asking, okay, what do I need to see here, Jesus? What's most helpful? See, that's the training, the light training.
Yeah.
To stay with the light, stay with the light, okay, and not fall into letting our mind snooze. We stay with the light, then we're staying with what's true. We're not indulging in the snooze button. We're looking for the miracle. See, he's turning us to look for the miracle always. So whether you go or he's not, he doesn't abandon us. Do you see what I'm saying? Even if, okay, that was a prompt to do this or X, Y, Z, and I didn't do it. It's just that he's trying to prevent us from feeling guilty over doing something that's not in alignment with divine being.
Okay, that's still a desire. I can feel it now. I can ask for a miracle. I think I desire that I think that, okay, this is not guided, but I'm going to do it anyway, that now I'm really guilty. That's how it plays out for
Yes.
me.
For all of us. That's
okay.
why we look together for all the playing consciousness. It's not personal. See, he'll tell you it's not personal. It's the play in consciousness to not follow the Father's will so we can feel guilty. Because we want to say no. It's the big NO that he's told that you pointed out beautiful. Simple. You want to say no.
Okay, and I realize that quite quickly when I do that, because I go into a lot of pain straight away. It's like, so at that moment, all I have to do, step back, admit I want guilt. Yeah, admit you have a desire to play, and just ask for help, ask which miracle and what we have to look at. That's it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that would be so nice if I knew what to do, if I was aware enough to know what to do as soon as the headache comes up, the guilt comes up, which is like not a snooze button, but like a big alarm bell right now. And then I'm like, fuck, what do I do? Okay, join. But
Yes,
now
join.
I'm being taught also at that moment that I can, you're playing a play of guilt, but it's not real. Okay, do you have anything that I can use or that you hear that I can use at that moment of tightening up, lid on my head? That's how I project it. Lid on my head. No, miracles. I want this. I know
He
this is
says,
not guided. Yeah.
he says, put your finger up your nose.
Oh, again? Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Don't take it
Jesus,
serious.
yeah,
Okay.
to break the pattern. He's trying to teach us to break the pattern, and then the ego's creating those doubt thoughts, the miscreation of doubt thought that I can't hear him even if smoke's rising out of my head. And what he's teaching here, and that's what the teaching he was giving me about that headache. Don't tell me you can't hear me even if you have a headache. You see, don't tell me you can't hear me even if the volcano's blowing up. Because consciousness is powerful enough to create a firestorm. But we have to be, see, he said miracles require conviction. The conviction that you have, that he wrote, such a beautiful line. They require conviction that you are more convicted,
You're
that you are more than
frozen.
yes, there you go, idea you have about yourself. So he can't help us if we're not convicted. If we've convicted ourselves to the hell hologram.
Okay, you were frozen for a while. It looks very
Yes.
funny.
All I said was the hell hologram.
Okay.
If we've convicted ourselves more to the hell hologram, to the conviction that we're worth miracles, that's what appears. Hell hologram. Dun,
Okay.
da, da.
Da,
So
da, da.
really, it's getting
Okay.
past the belief that you cannot hear him in every circumstance.
And hear him and follow him again. Because I think
I love you
I
so much,
don't hear
Margaret.
him and lost him then.
Yes. And just say, because we don't want to. See, it's not that we can't. We do not want to hear him anymore because he's starting to go in where we don't want to go.
Yeah.
We want the no. See,
Yeah.
that's when the boop. I
Yeah.
can't hear you, Jesus, and we're covering our eyes. Yes, you can. Hmm. So everything can be used in it's the willingness. That's all it is. Everything can be used as the willingness. Okay. And I don't know. And the admission that he's far better at this than anything we can conjure. What a symbol in our mind. He's on the cross happy. Total joy. Like this. Total joy. I'm coming home. I've done my time. No, he wasn't singing that. But he wasn't unhappy. I mean, as a symbol in consciousness, that's what's whole myth. The passion of Christ, the suffering of Christ, no. The freedom of Christ. Christ doesn't get involved. He knew it wasn't real. We only have pain if we believe it's real. See, he's just going, this ain't real. I and the Father are one. He gave that up in Gethsemane, he told me.
Okay, I got a lot of practice to do. I can see that very clearly now.
Yeah, and remember, you got that little miracle worksheet that I sent. He's reminding me about that for all of us, you know, and it's just a little reminder. And, you know, if other inspirations come that are helpful, we can add them to that. You know, it's for all of us. It doesn't belong to anybody. It's Jesus. And Jesus is in every one of us. And that's why we're practicing together what he's telling us. That's why all the focus is, what do you hear him saying? What do you hear him saying? What do you hear him saying? So that we're constantly going to him and going, what you telling me, Jesus? That's what the light training is right now.
Okay.
So much love, Marguerite. So happy to join with you. Thank you for this video.
Thank you for teaching me so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that.
Oh my gosh. A joy, a joy, a joy. Okay. Be enjoyed, beloved.
How do I watch this?
I'm going to send you a link to it. If I send you a link, you'll be able to see it.
Cool.
I'll send you that. Okay. Love you.
Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye, love.
Bye.